It's a sign of the times. Employees at this Nebraska Burger King telling customers, we all quit. And it's not just happening there. After you left, a bunch of your colleagues left too?
Well, there was 23 of us and 20 of us quit.
Ashley Wyrick left her fast food job in Oklahoma in June.
I couldn't do it. I could not work for somebody that treats their employees that way any longer.
And days later,
I immediately found another job after I quit.
she had a new job at a call center with better pay. As businesses reopen and the economy takes off, employees have options.
This is a moment of employee empowerment, worker empowerment that we haven't seen for a long time.
It's being called the Great Resignation. In April, a record 4 million workers quit, and in May, another 3.6 million. Some putting off leaving their job during the pandemic. Others are burned out after the last year. And some save money working from home and have a financial cushion to try something new, like Natalie Nichols. And what happened?
The pandemic happened. I had a lot of free time to think what I truly valued as a human being. And that all came down to my own personal freedom. And I love working remotely.
She decided to quit her corporate marketing job after her company announced she'd have to return to the office. Now she's on her own.
I know there are ebbs and flows, but I'm working with clients that I absolutely love, and that's really fulfilling.
And since Natalie is no longer tied to an office, she's now moving from Ohio to Las Vegas.
What the pandemic changed was people taking a step back and saying, okay, I have a moment in my life where I can reflect a little bit. Is this what I want to keep doing? And that pause is giving them power.
Experts say if you're thinking of quitting, don't be impulsive. It's a huge decision, so think it through. Try not to leave before you have another job lined up. It's easier to get a job when you have a job.
And if you end up deciding to leave on the best note possible.
For Ashley Wyrick, she's confident she made the right choice. Are you happier?
Yes, I am. The environment is so much different. They appreciate their employees.
Stephanie Rule, NBC News. In June.
Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Oh, man, that's the spirit, man. People were quitting their jobs in record numbers, all right? It says we all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience. People were burnt out with working these jobs and being pushed to their limits, okay? We're in a stressful environment, okay? This is the whole pandemic thing. People are being at their wits' ends with dealing with these slave drivers, man. And people have been quitting jobs at record numbers and referring to alternative means, you know, such as people doing Uber, doing DoorDash. People are working from home, etc. because people they're mentally tired, they're mentally drained, you know? It's called workers burnout, as they mentioned in the article. People are tired. People are tired of waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and having somebody to dictate to you what you should be doing when they won't even do it. You know, it's just a bunch of mess, and you know, these people, they're on the brink of insanity, man. And I can relate to it, you know, because we all felt like that, being burnt out at a job, man. I know with my last job, when I was working there for some years, man, I was there for a while, and it was just getting to me. It was just too much, and then it was to the point that they started jeopardizing my safety, so I had to make a decision, you know. But like they say, you don't leave one place until you have something lined up. But in most cases, people are like, fuck that shit, man. I'd rather just deal with the hit and recover before I sit up here and deal with somebody that's pushing buttons all the time. You know, because that's the thing, like, you got people working at fast food restaurants, they barely getting paid, but then it's stressful dealing with people as it is. You got irate customers, okay? People like to come through the drive-thru and throw shit at you. You know, people are complaining that food ain't fresh. And then you got a manager that's on your heels. You know, they don't have the proper work and lifestyle balance, and it's mentally draining. It's tiresome, okay? And they don't pay half enough for people to take the abuse that they take. So people are resorting to at-home jobs, okay? Mainly women. They are working from home, and they like it because they within the confinement of their own home. Nobody is telling them, oh, they have to be up at 5 o'clock. You got to work on weekends. And that's another thing. them not giving you a proper lifestyle balance. Because I don't care who nobody is, nobody should really, well, I'll put it to you this way. According to Esau society, people work all the time. But in our kingdom, on the Shabbat, nobody is going to be working. Not even the heathen in their slavery. So they're going to have at least one day of rest that they can kind of recover and get back to the field. But in this man's kingdom, he wants to slave drive you. He wants to dictate your schedule. He wants to dictate what time you got to be there, what days you can take off. He don't want you to be around your family. He don't want you traveling and doing things that's good for the soul, for the spirit, for the mind. He just wants you to be stressed out with work, and that's not working for the people. And that's the reason why this economy is getting ready to collapse, because people are walking away from these jobs in record numbers. This is why you go to a job, they may say, look, we'll give you a $1,500 sign-on bonus, just so you can come and work for us, because they're desperate. Okay, it's to the point that they will recruit you from your job and pay you extra money just so you can keep their doors open. Because if you don't work, shit, they don't have a job tomorrow. And that's the way that this economy is doing. Because everybody is dealing with the app-based jobs. Like people, they can make $1,000 a week off driving Uber. Sure, it's wear and tear on the vehicle, but they're working at their own pace. They don't have to deal with too many people. You can go to the restaurant, you pick up the food or drop people off and be done with it and get your money that way. And oftentimes they will give you incentives on top of that. I've tried it out, what I'm saying? I had to get some repairs done to the vehicle, over time, and stuff like that. But the times that I did do it, I've worked 2 hours and I've made shit like $50 in 2 hours. And that's really not bad. That's like $25 an hour. So just imagine if I did a whole 8-hour day, I can easily make $200 easy a day. And people are going they're going that route because you're your own boss. You're not dealing with a tyrannical employer. You're not dealing with discrimination up front, so to speak, because all these companies discriminate in one way or another. But you're not dealing with somebody that's on your ass all the time. They're expecting you to perform to the top degree every single day. It just don't work that way. And then you're in a society that's filled with depression. Everybody's depressed. Everybody's on edge. People don't know when the next meal is going to come. People are tired of it. And it's to the point that people are going to start boycotting these jobs altogether. And it's just going to get worse, because they're talking about economic growth and this and this and that. No, man, the economy is not growing at all. Okay, it's falling more than it's growing. They're only growing, I believe, like 2% of that a year. And it's probably declined since COVID. So, yeah, man, people are tired of it, tired of it. Stress levels are on high. People are burnt out. Workers fatigue. I mean, I was one of those people just dealing with the bullshit. Like last year, man, this year, actually, they had me going way out of my jurisdiction for snow removal. And that's nothing that's not in their policy. So either they were trying to set me up or they was trying to prove a point. But my thing is, I'm like, I'm not finna put my life in jeopardy if it ain't for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and my family. I'm like, I'm not, and even certain people in my family, not all of them is going, I'm going to catch a bullet for, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not finna sit up here and put my life on the line for a bunch of devils that's just going to replace me if I do get hurt on the job. So I'm like, it's not worth it at the end of the day. Fuck all this shit, because the Lord, he's going to provide for his men regardless. So people are getting fed up with the bullshit, People are getting fed up with it. People are walking away in record numbers. They're not dealing with it no more, especially in fast food industry. Yeah, that's the last place anybody would want to work, especially now, Like I said, it's a high demand in that field. And people, they just don't have the mental wits to deal with it no more. It's just what it is. Like I was talking to one of my homeboys yesterday I used to work with, called him D Wells. Cool Jake dude, This other Jake I used to work with, he used to work for he's from New York. I believe he used to be like a New York, he used to be a cop out there in New York City, but he moved out this way and he started working, at the DOT where I was at. I've known him. Pretty cool Jake. We talk about the MMA. He's into the MMA shit too. So we was talking, man, find out he left 2 weeks ago. He burnt out. He said, man, fuck this shit, I'm gone. And he was talking about burning out a long time ago because of the bullshit he dealing with. That's why that job has a discrimination suit against him right now. The same guy he was working for that I was working for, hey, that guy got a discrimination suit against him. Somebody put a lawsuit on his ass, and deservedly so, because that's the shit you got to deal with. Hold on 1 second. fuck? Niggas are stupid, man. But anyway, it says we all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience. And sooner or later, it's going to be mass exodus from these jobs. So let me get this. This is the book of Sirach 4 and 1. It says, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Right? You can't be oppressing the people like that, man. All right? And mainly Jake. Jake is tired. You know? You Edomites, man, you just need to get used to it, because that's all you're going to do when the kingdom is work. But it says here, defraud not the poor of his living. You know, you taking taxes out of people's checks. You know what I'm saying? You hitting them, you're suing them left and right. People, they don't want to deal with it no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people are detaching from the society left and right. And there's gonna come a time that everything is just gonna hit the fan. Ain't gonna be no jobs out here. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year if it be any jobs left. And that's just an opinion. I'm not prophesying on that. But I'm just saying it will be a time that people don't want to deal with the bullshit no more, okay? They don't want to deal with it, because when they do another lockdown, most of these jobs ain't going to survive anyway. So, hey, I'm confidently saying that most of us are getting ready to be unemployed in a very short while, okay? From the private business sector until the public sector. We are getting ready to be without employment. You know what I'm saying? People are referring to real estate in the market because they said it's a buyer's market now. Yeah, it is a buyer's market. You can sell, but then again, prices are fluctuating because the real estate bubble is getting ready to burst. So yeah, it's a buyer's market, but those people that's often buying homes, they're going to be locked into agreements that they can't get out of, which is going to force them out of it anyway. So if you are into real estate, the time now to get your money is now. Get in and get out. Because I'm telling you now, the people that's buying homes, they're going to be the ones that's going to take the biggest hit. And that's going to cause another uprising in the housing market, because look what happened during 2008, the collapse, doing a subprime lending or the mortgage lending. People lost their fucking minds because they put all this money into these investments and they didn't make good on the returns. So they lost everything. And people are still trying to recover from that today. It says, make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. And as I said, man, these jobs, they want to own you. They want to conquer you. Okay, it ain't just, oh, come to work, get your money, and go home. I respect an employee if he told me, he said, look, man, I don't give a damn what you do, what y'all do. Just come here and get your bread, do your job, and go home. Don't take this shit home with you. I respect that. But when somebody wants you to take your job home, they want you to be overly indulged, they want you to be the company, that's when it becomes a religion. That's when it becomes indoctrinative. You know, you're being indoctrinated, so to speak. You know, you're being manipulated mentally, because our biggest focus is focusing on the spirit of power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, as men of the Lord, not these corporations that's getting ready to be brought under. Because as I said, man, all these places are getting ready to fall in the midst anyway. All right, it says here, add not more to a troubled heart that is vexed. And Jake is on edge, man. Jake is working the low-end jobs. They get the shitty schedules. The time they get the lowest pay. A job that can be advertised at a pay $25 an hour, they want to give Jake 16 an hour, 17 an hour. Really, when a job pays 25, they offer you the lowest wage. You know, a bid on the lowest wage, but yet an unqualified Edomite could come in there and get a good incentive, a sign-on bonus. He get the schedule he wants, etc. You know, so jobs, they can't be picky right now. You know, they being picky and choosy. No, man, if y'all want people to work, y'all better start accommodating these people, give them the money they want, and let them work the hours they want. At least they'll do something for you. But you can't sit up here and push people and dictate shit and say, well, you need to do this, this, and this, and that. Them days are over with, man. Them days are over with. And these doors are getting ready to collapse or close. It says, add not more trouble to a heart that is already vexed. All right. And it says, and defer not to give him that is in need. Right. Don't avoid to give. You know, you see a man that needs money, you know, a raise or whatever, you give it to him. He say, well, look, man, I can't make ends meet. I need an incentive bonus. You know, your job should come up with some type of package to accommodate you, because they got the money. Especially if they're a reputable company, they got the money. They just choose not to deal with it. They say, well, look, you want the money, we can just replace you with somebody who will work for less. And that's why people are walking away. And I'm finna deal with people that's treating them like shit. Okay, it's just a matter of integrity. Fuck the money at the end of the day, you know. Anyway, and it says here, and defer not to give him that is in need, and reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man, and turn not away thy eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee, right? You know, and like I said, brothers, man, they be catching it on these jobs. You know, brothers, they missing camp. Esau fuck with the schedules, and I notice it's always the brothers that get hit with the bullshit, because brothers need to be out there teaching the word instead of, you know, working on Saturdays. And I understand certain brothers got to do what they got to do, but if it's a job that's requiring me to work on a Saturday, I'm not going to take the job. I refuse to do it. I don't give a damn what it is. That day is for the Lord and for the brothers and for myself and whatever else I got going on. I give you motherfuckers 5 days a week. That's good enough. I'm not giving you my weekends too. You can forget about it. And I understand that everybody's situation is different. Every mentality is different. But no, man, that's just, no, it's not working that way. If I got to work a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, every weekend, I mean, occasionally, okay, that's fine, depending on the business needs. But overall, if that's a particular schedule, like some Thursday through Tuesday shit, hell no. They can miss me with that. It's not going to happen. You know, they can find somebody else to do it. And it says here, for if he cursed thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayers should be heard of him that made him. Okay? So, hey, man, this place is finished. People are not dealing with it no more. And this is what it's going to lead to. Isaiah 19, and I'm going to start at verses, let's start at verses 14. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn the work, every work thereof. That means everything from your entertainment industry to your restaurant, to your hospitalities, to your real estate markets, to your city, state, government jobs. All these jobs are getting ready to cease. Uber, everything is coming. City, state, and government jobs, man. That's going to be the deal with that. Everything is getting ready to shut down. So going down here, verses 15, it says, neither should there be any work in Egypt for Egypt, which the head or tail or branch or rush may do. And in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it should be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaken over it. Okay, so this is a perverse spirit that Yahweh Shai is mingling in the midst. Okay, he's getting ready to do away with all these jobs and these businesses, etc. It's going to be every man for themselves. And it says, in the land of Judah should be a terror unto Egypt, and everyone that maketh mention there should be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he have determined against it. So, yeah, people are fed up with it, man. All right, Esau, they're going to be happy when he goes down. Mainly our people, because they're going down as a collective. All right, Isaiah 14:4. It says that it says here, and it should come to pass in the day that the Lord should give thee rest from thy sorrow. This is sorrow, being behind on bills, rent, all that other bullshit. It says here, give thee rest from thy sorrow and thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. And thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. And that's talking about America. And who runs the society? A bunch of oppressive devils. Okay? They don't care. They just want their money, and they want to drain you dry while they're getting rich and fat off the land and keep you on the bottom. You know? So the Lord's going to recompense all that. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh Shai. And with that, shalom and a ball.